Okay, so have a listen to this. This is a C major scale. So if you noticed, I was playing the same scale. It was a C major scale, but I played it in 5 different steps. Now, what that gives you is every little step from 0 to 12 of the same scale. So it means that when you're improvising, you're not just restricted to one position. You know, you can move up and down the fretboard freely. So if I was to show you the whole 6 sort of 6 strings worth of that scale, then it might be a bit overwhelming to learn the 5 positions. So what I suggest first is you learn 1 octave in each position, and you can see the relationship between some of the shapes as well, so it makes it easier to learn. So I'll demonstrate that one more time. So here's the C position. The next one's A, because it's caged. It always goes in the order of C, A, G, E, D. So A is the next shape. G, E, D. Okay, so let's just start with the C shape. Now I've got it in different variations. So this is sort of like the right way up. As you can see, the top strings here. I have got the other way for anyone who likes to read it sort of upside down. Well, that's the right way for you, but so I'm going to show you in 2 different ways. So maybe if you want to pause this and then have a look at it. So here's the first shape, is on the 5th string of the 3rd fret here. So you play that with your 3rd finger maybe. And then go to the 4th string here and go 0, 2, 3 fret. And then to the 3rd string, 0, 2. And on the 2nd string, 0, 1. So just practice going up and down that. And then go backwards. So that's your first stage to learn that C shape. I'm going to show you sort of the other way around now. So here, this is the same scale, but just upside down for people who like reading it this way. So if you prefer the other way, just ignore this way. So your 5th string's here on this bottom one here, and then you're on the 4th string here, and then the 3rd string, and then the 2nd string here is 0, 1. So that's the C shape. Now caged, the next one's A. So we're going to go back to the other sort of shape here. So you can see here a few little things. We're going to start this with the 2nd finger. So if you notice that this shares the same root with the last one you've done. So we started here on the C shape. We've learnt the notes to this side. Now the A is going to show us the notes to this side. So we need to shift this and start with our 2nd finger here. So this is the A shape. Now, if you notice, I'm using 1 finger to 1 fret, so my hand's not moving side to side. So I start with the 2nd finger and then the 4th. So 2nd, then the 4th. That's it, 2nd, then the 4th. So you skip a fret. And then your 1st finger's ready here on this 2nd fret. We use your 1st, 2nd, and 4th finger. Then your 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So what's this? So you move up and down there. So I'm going to show you the other way round now. Here's the other way round. So if you start with your 2nd finger here, ignore this if you prefer to read it the other way. So 2nd, then 4th. And then on this 4th string, you go 1st, 2nd, and 4th. And then 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Okay, so just at this stage, it's worth just noting to play the C shape. And then the A shape. Now, all these shapes we're learning, they're all in the key of C. They're all a C major scale, but the shapes are called A, G, E, and D. So they're just shapes. They're not the scale. they're the shape of the scale. So they're all C, but the different shapes. So if you listen, this is exactly the same as this. Okay, so that's the C and the A shape. They share the same root. So if you're on the 5th string anywhere, you know that if you stopped anywhere, to that side would be the C shape, to this side would be the A shape, and they would share that same root. So C and A share the same root. Okay, so I'm going to go to back to the other way around. We're going to learn the G shape now. So this one here, you start it with your little finger, and that's on the 8th fret. So here, and if you notice, that note's a C, even though it's the G shape. This we're starting that on a C. So it starts with your little finger, and then here you go with your 1st, 3rd, and 4th finger. So you can start to hear it. And then you got 1, 3. Now here it jumps back to the 4th fret, so you're going to have to shift position backwards and then end on that 5th fret there with your 2nd finger. So I'll do that again. Shift back. Now if it doesn't sound like that, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, if it doesn't sound like that, then you use your ears to tell you something's not right. Normally people, when they're stretching this far with the little finger, when they come to do the 2nd note, they might, let me get my little spot thing, they might jump to here by mistake. So you've got to jump from here to this note, so you've got to leave 2 frets gap to get to here. So this one starts on the 8th fret, and then your 1st finger here, this one starts on the 5th fret. So just, if it's not going right, that's probably why. So let's work on that again. Okay, I'm going to jump to the opposite way round. So let's see that here. Okay, so for those of you who like to read it this way around, so this is the 6th string here with the 8th fret, hit that. And then you're playing the 5th fret with your 1st finger. So use your 1st finger, 3rd and 4th, and then your 1st and 3rd, and then shift it back to the 4th fret. 1st. So just practice that. And then once you've done that, play the C shape, the A, then the G, so you can hear it in context now. Okay, we're going to jump to the E shape now. So here we go. This is similar to the A shape. Okay, if you can see this, I'm going to just zone in on here, and I'm going to go back to the A shape, which is here, if I show you that there. If you look, it's exactly the same. You start with your 2nd finger, as it says there. Start with the 2nd finger. Let's go back to that E shape there. It's the same, but it starts on the 6th string. So get on the 8th fret with your 2nd finger on the top string. See, it shares the same root as the G. So the G was there. Now this same note is a C. You start with your 2nd finger. So just like the C and A shared the root, the G and E share the root. So with the G shape, you start with your little finger. The A shape, you start with your 2nd finger. So just go up that now. So 2nd finger, 4th finger, and then your 1st, 2nd, and 4th, and then your 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So I'm just going to show it the other way around for people who like to read it the other way around there. Okay. So starting with your 2nd finger and 4th, and your 1st, 2nd, and 4th, and your 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Okay, so it's a good practice to just get your plectrum moving and your fingers just to run up and down these scales. Okay, so then once you've done that E shape, I want you to go to the C, the A shape, the G, the E. It's really important to keep referring back to each shape and using your ear to hear that it is exactly the same scale, but in different forms. Okay, so the last shape we're going to look at, so when is going to be the D shape. So when you did the E shape, let me go back to the E shape here. The last note you played there, here on the 4th string, that note is the start of the D shape there. So you see it's on the 4th string on the 10th fret, so you got to switch that with your 2nd finger. And if you notice, it sort of follows suit, but because of the tuning of the B string, you've got to the last 3 notes, you've got to shift up position, so shift to your right. So let's start on here. So it's 2nd and 4th finger. And then on the 3rd string, you go 1st, 2nd, 4th. And then I'm shifting with my 1st finger to the 10th fret. So my 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So there. Right, I'll go to the other way round for people who like reading it like this. So. So there are lots of notes around it on these strings, like I said before, that are related to this scale, but we're just keeping to 1 octave, keeping it simple, keeping it so you can just digest the fact that there's 5 positions that play the same scale. Okay. And once you've learnt them scales, then all you do is move them side to side. And when you get up to the 12th fret where you run out of notes, it starts back here. So it's like a loop that keeps moving round. So all them shapes, caged, just keep moving backwards or forwards, depending what key you're in. Okay. So, okay, so you got the five shapes there. Just to recap: C shape, A shape, G shapes with your little finger on the 8th fret. E shape's the same root there, but with your 2nd finger. The D shape starts with where your little finger is there with your 2nd finger. Now, I know this seems like a mouthful of stuff to learn, but really, once you got it and it's second nature, which it will be, just like your open chords are second nature now, this can be second nature, and you can just enjoy improvising all over the fretboard without any restrictions. Because normally when people start improvising, they'll do stuff like this, and they'll just stay there because that's all they know. They just know this one shape, and they never sort of connect the dots that they can play the same scale everywhere. So that's what this is good for. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let me know if you've got any questions. We will be looking in the future to do all the notes that surround these octaves. So if anyone's interested in joining the DMC guitar theory class, then just get in touch, and it's more of a live interactive class where you can ask questions as it's happening, and I can go at the speed of the group. Okay, thank you very much.